Welcome back to Coin Discovery USA, where we explore the hidden potential inside everyday pocket change and uncover the extraordinary stories behind coins that most people overlook. And today we are diving into one of the most astonishing modern numismatic possibilities, the story of a 2010 1-cent coin that has been valued at an incredible $13 million due to rare mint errors, dramatic production mistakes, extreme condition rarity, and a perfect convergence of collector demand that transformed an ordinary Lincoln cent into a headline-grabbing treasure. And while at first glance a 2010 penny might seem far too modern to command such attention, seasoned collectors understand that rarity is not always about age but about unique circumstances inside the minting process at the United States Mint, where billions of coins are produced using high-speed presses, precision dies, and copper-plated zinc planchets that occasionally produce spectacular and unintended results. And when those results combine in ways never before documented, the market can respond with extraordinary valuations, especially when the coin features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Union Shield reverse design introduced in 2010, making this year particularly important because it marked the beginning of a new reverse era for the Lincoln cent. And transitional design years often present unique opportunities for die preparation errors, hubbing inconsistencies, and alignment anomalies that can generate collectible varieties unlike those seen in previous years. And one of the most dramatic possibilities for a multimillion-dollar 2010 cent would be a powerful double die created during the hubbing stage when the working die received multiple impressions that were slightly misaligned, producing visible separation in the date, the word liberty, the motto "I in God we trust," or even within the fine lines of the shield on the reverse, and strong, unmistakable doubling that is clearly part of the die rather than mechanical strike doubling commands intense collector interest, especially when it is bold enough to be identified without magnification. And if such a doubled die were found in pristine mint state condition with blazing original red luster, razor-sharp strike detail, and no distracting contact marks, its desirability would skyrocket, particularly if third-party grading services certified it at the absolute top of the population census with no equals, creating a condition rarity scenario where registry-set competitors must compete for a single finest known example. And beyond doubled dies, dramatic off-center strikes represent another path toward extreme valuation, occurring when the planchet fails to align properly within the collar before being struck by the dies, resulting in a design that is partially missing yet still displays a complete and readable date. And collectors often prize off-center errors between 40 and 70%. Misalignment when the date remains intact, and if a 2010 cent exhibited a perfectly balanced 60% off-center strike combined with full red luster and flawless surfaces, it would already command a significant premium. But if that same coin also displayed a rotated die alignment where the reverse was oriented at a dramatic angle relative to the obverse, the combination error would become exponentially rarer, and combination errors are often the catalysts for record-setting auction results, because they are far more difficult to replicate or match within a collection. And broad strike errors offer another compelling possibility, formed when the retaining collar fails to engage during striking, allowing the metal to expand beyond its standard diameter and leaving flattened rims and expanded design elements. And a fully expanded broad strike 2010 cent with complete shield detail and brilliant surfaces would immediately stand out, especially if paired with a partial collar strike that created a visible step along the edge, adding a second layer of minting complexity. And wrong planchet strikes elevate the conversation even further, because if a 2010 Lincoln cent design were accidentally struck on a blank intended for another denomination, such as a dime planchet, or on an experimental alloy blank, the resulting coin would display incorrect weight, unusual metallic coloration, an incomplete design transfer, and when metallurgical testing confirms the presence of an incorrect composition, collectors recognize that such pieces represent true mint anomalies rather than post-mint alterations. And if the example were unique and authenticated by respected grading authorities, competitive bidding could push its value into extraordinary territory, especially if the coin's discovery story added to its mystique, such as being found in an original bank-wrapped roll preserved untouched for years before being examined under magnification, and clipped planchet errors also deserve attention. formed during the blanking process when the metal strip overlaps a previously punched area, leaving a crescent-shaped missing section with smooth, curved edges and the distinctive Blakesley effect opposite the clip, and multiple clips on a single 2010 cent would be especially dramatic, particularly if the design elements remained sharply struck around the missing sections. And die cracks and retained cuts present another visually striking possibility, as cracks in the die can gradually widen and eventually break away, leaving raised blobs of metal connecting the rim to interior design features, and a massive cut dominating the shield reverse while preserving strong detail elsewhere would create a one-of-a-kind appearance that collectors would find irresistible, and strike through errors caused by grease, debris, or foreign objects trapped between the die and planchet during striking can produce ghost-like voids or textured impressions across the coin's surface, and, if such a strike-through dramatically obscured portions of Lincoln's portrait or shield lines while leaving surrounding details crisp and fully struck, the visual contrast would amplify its appeal. And then there is the factor of condition rarity, because even without dramatic errors, a 2010 cent preserved in absolute perfection with flawless surfaces, booming luster, and impeccable strike quality could command staggering prices if certified as the single finest known example. And when population reports reveal only one coin at the highest grade with none finer, registry competition can drive bidding far beyond published price guides, particularly when collectors are motivated by the prestige of owning the best, and provenance further enhances desirability, especially if the coin can be traced back to a well-known collection or a documented discovery event. Adding narrative depth and historical context, and market dynamics play a crucial role in determining ultimate value. Because when two determined collectors decide that a specific coin represents the crown jewel of their holdings, emotional commitment and competitive drive can override conventional valuation metrics, leading to record-breaking auction results. And in the case of a 2010 1 cent valued at $13 million, it would likely represent a convergence of multiple extraordinary factors. A dramatic and highly visible doubled die, a significant off-center or rotated strike, perhaps a wrong planchet composition confirmed through laboratory analysis, preserved in flawless mint state red condition, certified as unique at the top of the grading scale, accompanied by a compelling provenance story, and introduced to the market at a high-profile auction where global collectors competed fiercely for the opportunity to secure an irreplaceable modern rarity. And while such outcomes are exceptionally rare, they illustrate how even a recent coin can transcend its humble origins when minting anomalies intersect with elite-level preservation and intense collector demand, reminding everyone that rarity is defined not merely by age but by uniqueness, condition, and story. And that is why examining pocket change, searching rolls, weighing suspicious pieces, and studying die markers remain essential practices for collectors who hope to uncover something extraordinary. Because hidden among ordinary 2010 cents could be an undiscovered variety awaiting recognition, and the difference between 1 cent and a life-changing fortune often lies in careful observation and informed knowledge. And at Coin Discovery USA we continue exploring these remarkable possibilities to inspire collectors to look closer, learn more, and appreciate the incredible complexity behind every coin struck for circulation.